Mangalam, but we have a lot of earnings to talk about. In fact, government-owned mineral producer NMDC posted a strong set of Q2 numbers. My colleague Nigel D'Souza caught up with Sumit Deb, who's the chairman and managing director of the company, to decode their second quarter performance and business outlook. Listen in.
Our numbers have been good in Q2 specifically, because traditionally Q2 has not been a very good month for the mine for us. But then we did in this year we did very well. And as far as the numbers go, we are scheduled to do around 45 is what we intend to do this year.
45 million tons of sales volume in FY22. Is that the number you're guiding for?
Yes, yes.
All right, 45 million tons. That's much higher than I think most of what the street was working with. So we'll track you on that front. But what about exports? Exports have been absolutely zilch in the first half of this year. Is there a possibility that there are no exports for the remainder of the year as well?
Yes, that would be a possibility.
Got it. What about pricing? Prices from the June highs have corrected by roughly around 22 to around 27% on. Now, global prices have corrected, but on the way up, NMDC's pricing didn't go according to what global pricing was doing. So on the way down, do you believe that we're somewhere near a bottom in terms of price correction, or do you see further price corrections from here on?
So what happens is international prices have corrected sharply, but then our prices, domestic pricing, the domestic sector is a little different here, and we believe that going forward there won't be any major corrections in terms of prices.
What is your pricing if I compare NMDC's pricing with Odisha private miners? Is there any difference as of now? If yes, could you quantify it?
Yes, there is a bit of difference in terms of lump pricing, lump wood pricing. The markets there are a little different. There is a slight difference, but in terms of pine ore pricing, we are more or less on the same platform.
Tell us more about the lump. What is the difference between NMDC's pricing as well as Odisha private miners?
Could be around 500 to 1,500 odd rupees.
So there's a possibility that NMDC could align itself with the private miners out there. Could that be a bit of a correction?
Could be possible, yes. We'll look at it as and when when the markets are for the demand supply.
Got it. All right. The next big trigger for the stock is the demerger of the steel plant. Now, you were guiding for the second half of this year that the steel plant gets commissioned. Which quarter does it get commissioned in now? Q3, towards the end of Q3, or is it a story of Q4, or is it even pushed post that?
No, it is something which we intend to do in Q4, the demerger of the steel plant.
Okay, all right. I think the last time around we were hinting at Q3. Now it's pushed to Q4, it appears. But this fiscal year is what you're saying, so we'll take your word for it. What about capex? You had lined up, I think, 3,500, 3,700 crores of capex for this year. How much have you spent so far?
So the most of the capex is going into the steel plant. And currently the steel plant capex will only come up only when the plant gets commissioned, because these are all commissioning payments which come up only when the steel plant starts. So that's, as far as the spending goes, we have almost done around 1,200 crores currently, and the balance will come in when the plant gets commissioned.
Is there any possibility that NMDC sells the steel plant before it gets commissioned? Any demand have you got?
So the plan first idea is to demerge the steel plant and then commission it. So that's our first target, and we'll take it as after that.
All right. Okay. All right. Also, give us a sense whether or not there is an OFS that's pending. We have seen a couple of OFSs in the last few years. You've done one recently in the last 12 months or so. Any possibility that the government wants to sell some more stake in NMDC, or are they done?
I will not be able to comment on that, because that's a decision of the government of India. So right now there is nothing which is there.
Okay, final question then, sir. Cash is good in these sort of volatile times. What could you quantify the cash balance that you have? Is there a possibility that you pay out a higher dividend?
Currently we have substantial cash on our books, so now 8,500, 8,800 crores of cash which we have. Yes, that's a possibility. There's a possibility of dividend payout.
Or a buyback?
On the buyback front, currently up to December there is no buyback which is there on the cards.
but post that there could be a possibility of a buyback or higher dividend?
Like I mentioned, up to December, there is no situation of a buyback. However, interim dividend would be there, so we're working on that.
All right, that's the word coming in from NMDC's management. The stock, though, is in the red, down around 1%. With that,